on the clock. DJ, turn my speaker up. Tonight's the night where we nerd the fuck out. Cause bebop and blueberry bitches.
So anyways,
You're
we're
still
live.
screen sharing.
I'm still screen. You can see it. They can't. It's okay.
Oh,
I can fix it.
okay.
I can stop. Smooth sailing as always.
Listen, y'all. This is only the third night of streaming this
Th-
podcast.
This
For
is our
those
third
that,
attempt at this, but only our second actual episode.
yeah, that first one was like
That was literally just randomness and chaos.
not good.
Well, we had zero
but
formatting, and
for those
I
who
literally
have-
just hit live.
yeah.
Anyways, as you were saying.
But those that are just joining us, we usually go TikTok live at 11:30 Central Time on Mondays. And we basically just talk about music, game shit, spooky shit, and random shit. If you
Nerd
guys
shit.
have any input, nerd shit. If there's like any input that you guys want to like kind of throw at us, go ahead. We are more than welcome to it. If you guys want us to hit a subject, we're more than welcome to it. But we do not talk politics on here. Politics are not allowed. There's too much negative shit, and we don't want to deal with it.
Yeah. So, Blueberry.
I'm missing anything, boo boo?
I don't know. I'm remembering that last time we did this, we were talking about things we did, and at no point in time did I mention like any of my hobbies. But we can get back into that. We can do that later. Once we get into the dungeon.
Well, yes, the dungeon. I forgot to put my phone on silent. Hold up. Okay, there we go.
Nerd.
Phone on silent.
Imagine putting your phone on silent.
Bro.
My phone is never not silent.
My phone just goes ding, 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 ding. And I'm like, bruh. Also, side note, if anybody hears weird noises on my end, my dog is in my room tonight.
Well,
So,
technically
I don't really have
not
a
your
choice.
dog.
I mean, it's technically my dog at this point.
At this point, it might as well belong to you.
Exactly.
You're pretty much
But
the
she
only
broke
one
her
that takes care
kennel.
of it, so.
She broke her kennel, so now she's like free until I buy a new kennel. Gotta love huskies. Anyone want a white husky? It's yours.
Oh shit, now we're out of rhythm.
So.
I was wondering if you were going to notice.
I did it. I straight up did it, dude.
One eternity later.
This is the music section, by the way.
It's the ADHD. Just roll with it, bro.
Just roll with it.
But anyways. So there are tours coming up, bro.
Yeah, there's a couple. I don't know if you looked into any, see if there's ones that you're like, I gotta go type of thing. But
There was only one, and I couldn't go because we had the trucking company's work party for my boyfriend, there was one up in Chicago, and it had literally the whole lineup for my childhood. And I almost start punched my old man for even showing me that, because I was like, bro, you suck.
Who
And
was
he's
it?
like, well, this whole lineup sucks. I'm like they had um shoot, my brain. You asked me, my brain's drawing blank now. Um, Roman Empire, Falling in Reverse. They had Hoser. They had AFI, and like this list was like a whole festival of from starting from 9 o'clock in the morning till like midnight
God
for
damn.
like 3 days. Yeah. So when I say there's like a whole list, and you're asking me to list off the whole list, I'm going, what ones were the big ones, bro? Crap. But basically, it was like all of the childhood emo bands where you were like, my feels, they're so strong.
The nostalgia. It's just a bunch of washed up old men now.
Fucking road. Don't be hashing on my dreams.
Well, everyone except for Falling in Reverse, they're still moderately young, I guess.
They're still pretty relevant.
Well,
They're
I think
pretty
that's.
relevant. I don't know. I don't really like their newer stuff.
Oh, did you hear Ronnie Radke's like excuse for why Falling in Reverse will never release a full length album again?
Why?
His exact words, from my understanding, are I will never make a full length album again because the last time I did, nobody liked it. So they're just making singles now.
Listen, dude. Listen, dude. You literally had a badass startup. I mean, for a fucking startup and just starting, the music was on point. To this day, I still listen to them. Like, The Drug Is You, freaking, why is my brain blanking on me today? Um, but anyways, most of their fucking music I listen to this day, and basically like after I think it was whenever I was like 13, there was an album, I can't remember what it's called, but there was an album and I listened to it and it was like, bro, it sounds like you're still trying to be yourself, but also take like blood on the dance floor type music, and it's just not working for you, dude. It's like when Paramore became a sellout. You know, her music's solid, good punk rock. And then what was that song? You are the only exception. I fucking hate that song, bro. Fucking hate that song. It does not sound like Paramore at all. You know, you go from Riot all the way to Only Exception, and it's like Miley Cyrus' career is better than y'all's. Okay? And that's a shitstorm. And y'all make hers look at least somewhat solid. Like, let's be honest. But what are some of the concerts that you're interested in this week or this year, bro?
Well, I haven't seen too many for the rest of the year that I've been too interested in. The two main ones that I'm like I really want to go to is in December. Well, later in the year, August Burns Red, Brand of Sacrifice, Spite, and Crystal Lake are going on tour, and they're going to be in Minnesota on a Monday. So I gotta put in a time off request for that one. Very excited to see that because Crystal Lake, they're pretty awesome. I don't know, I haven't really listened to them since they got a new vocalist, so I'll have to give them more of a listen. Brand of Sacrifice, they're just my favorite deathcore band right now, so August Burns Red, they're pretty cool.
See, I haven't ever really gotten into death metal. That's one of the bands or one of the genres. Like, I'll listen to it if my friends are listening to it, but it's not gonna be like my first choice, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's understandable. I I think the main reason why I was able to get into like deathcore so quickly was because when I started to branch out into genres outside of hair metal and thrash metal, like, I mean, 80s thrash metal, so not quite like what was coming out in the 90s where you got shit like Napalm Death. And Sepultura, wasn't really listening to them at the time, but more so along the lines of Megadeth and Metallica. But then I started to branch out. The first band that wasn't in those genres that I started listening to was Avatar. They're really hard to nail down. Like, they're kind of death metal, kind of just heavy metal in general, but their vocalist screams.
Lately, I've really been getting into Avatar lately, like Avatar and Ginger type genre, but not like heavy, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And then after I started listening to them, I started getting into black metal, which is just like quite the leap. So I was listening to bands like Cradle of Filth, Dimmu Borgir, and what was the other one? Behemoth. Those were the three that I was really into when I started listening to black metal. And then I started hanging around in Austin's chat, and he got me into metalcore. And because I was really into his band before Darkwatch, which was For the Likes of You. For the Likes of You was kind of metalcore when I first started listening to them, but as they kept going more and more deathcore, and just committed to being a deathcore band. So that's kind of where my love for deathcore started. And then I discovered Brand of Sacrifice, which just the only way to describe them is probably the most pants-shittingly heavy band that you can listen to. Like,
is that a technical term?
That is the technical term. That is the scientific term for Brand of Sacrifice, is pants-shittingly heavy.
Do you want to shit your pants? Listen to this!
I mean, yeah, literally.
At 1-800 shit your pants.
Like, one day, I just told Arky, you want to hear the just, like, most stupidly heavy song ever that just has no reason to be the opening song to the album, but it's a very good song to open the album with? Just listen to Dawn. It punches you in the mouth. I'll say that much.
Eventually.
Bro, earlier you were talking about you have way too many fucking hobbies. What do you mean by that?
I have way too many hobbies that I don't actually do. That's the main thing. But the one that I just like I have like bags of minis for D&D that I just haven't painted, and I've had them for almost a year now. Was I on it? like honestly, I bought them for the D&D one shot we did. Most of them didn't arrive in time. That's what I get for ordering off of Etsy. But yeah, got D&D minis. I got music ideas in my head that I just never start or work on. Past few weeks, I've been doing vocals less and less, mostly just because being sick. And now that I'm no longer as sick, I can only do them for only a few minutes a day. Whereas I could just do them for however long I want.
Yeah, that seems like one of the downsides to being a vocalist is if your throat goes down, everything goes down for
Yeah.
you musically.
Yeah. And, you know, these don't help. Especially when you're sick. I thought you were about to go hit yours for a second just to be like, ironic.
No, no, no. I'm drinking water. You gotta stay hydrated, bro.
Hydrate or dihydrate. Yeah, just so many hobbies. I mean, shit. Talk about D&D, the most, like, neglected one of them. I've only played D&D, like, once or twice in the last 2 years.
Hey, I'm telling you, man, we need to do one of our podcasts on like a Wednesday. Just doing a D&D session. That I don't fall asleep in.
Yeah. Hopefully you don't fall asleep this time. But the plus side to that
fire
is...
me at that point.
It's just like, I have cut ties with Randa. I am done here. She's sleepy all the fucking time. This time she didn't even have the excuse of driving for 56 hours straight. What's that look?
Oh, I was looking back at the dog because she was making weird ass noises.
Oh, it just happened that...
Excuse me, ma'am.
Just so happened because you were looking at her through the screen. I was just like, what did I do?
You're in trouble, sir. Go to the corner.
No. Just straight up, just no. Not doing it.
So Chelsea Grin came out with a album in March. What happened with that?
They made the nerd in me happy. Because they got a song. Don't you laugh at my nerdum. Don't laugh at me nerding out
I am
over...
laughing at your nerdum.
Don't laugh at... My deathcore band's making nerd music, okay? Leave me alone. But no, they got a song called Orc March and is disgustingly gross. And they also... that's just how you describe deathcore songs. I'm sorry. You got to learn the terminology.
No, it's not that. It's just the way you said it. It was just like, okay, guys, like it's fucking disgustingly gross, dude. Like, gosh.
Yeah.
Stop judging.
The biggest compliment you can get as a deathcore band is a guy in the pit making a face like this. Making a stank face. But not only do they got a song called Orc March, they got a song called Yorm the Giant, which is a boss from a Dark Souls game. And if anyone knows anything about me, is how much I nerd out over Dark Souls.
That was a game I always wanted to get into, and I saw some of the gameplay, but like
It would make you mad.
my parents, instead of getting Dark Souls, they got Skyrim and Fallout 3. And I was like forever disappointed.
Well, I'm gonna say your parents were nice to you. Because they didn't get you a game that probably would have made you mad and never want to play it again.
Listen, Linda, now that you speak of it, I'll probably get onto stream and see if I can get it.
Might as well. I mean,
Because I honestly completely forgot that was even a thing. But I remember, like, all of my friends that were into, like, the horror games and shit, they were like, you gotta play this! And I'm like, I want to, but I'd be poor. I want to. I want this so bad. I want the cookie. Give me the cookie.
I want to play the game, but I don't have the monies.
There is no money. Be like the oh shoot, that skit that was going forever around MySpace. That was I want my money. Give me my money. A little girl walking around with like a little wine bottle. Don't do that, kids. Nowadays, they call that child endangerment.
Listen, man, if I want to drink wine out of a sippy cup and somehow the child manages to get it, that's God taking the wheel.
Quite literally, Jesus is taking the wheel because that kid is gonna need some help.
They're gonna. I was gonna say they're gonna have some not bad memories, but chances are they won't remember it.
I mean, when I accidentally got drunk off of maraschino cherries, I didn't remember ever getting drunk, but my parents did.
Amanda, why are you acting so weird?
Honestly,
Funny berries.
what's freaking hilarious is, okay, so mom and dad put these cherries in like a cup and they put them in the refrigerator, and I thought they were just cherries. I didn't know there was they soaked in booze for 10 hours and they were at the bottom of the boo mixture.
Oh, so you got
And
the concentrated
they were-
ones.
Yeah, and they were asleep. Everybody was asleep, but I was hungry. And so I ate the cherries, the whole cup. And it was like the regular cup size of coffee at hotels, completely overfull of cherries, and I ate them all at 6. Didn't throw up, but I don't remember. I remember eating the cherries. That's it. I don't remember the hangover. I don't remember being drunk. I don't remember going to Hot Topic and throwing a fit because Dad was not buying me this thing for Atreyu. And I don't remember Dad telling us that we're going to get White Castle to help me sober up. Don't remember any of this. But I will say I was a champ because I never threw up.
Mama didn't raise no bitch.
Because there was a lot of alcohol. Mama did not raise no bitch. Hashtag can tell it's 2009. But
That was
no.
four-
Anyways, I digress.
That was 14 years ago. Does that make you feel old?
Yeah, dude. Dude, shut your fucking mouth. Shut your fucking mouth. Because whenever I was 6, it was actually like way longer ago. I just
Yeah,
threw
it
out
would have been like
2009, but in reality, it was probably like
it would have been
it
04
would have
for
been like
you.
2003.
2003, 2004.
Yeah, it would have been like 2000. Yeah, somewhere in there. God, dude, shut the fuck up. I'm only 25, fixing to be 26.
I'm about to be 24.
Making me feel old.
You're old.
Shut up. Anyways, so what do you think of yourself if you were a D&D character?
What would I be? I actually don't know. I should like pull up class lists and shit. I know you know. I'll let you talk while I pull up D&D Beyond.
I got like 4 different personalities, okay? I have the pixie that specializes in being a rogue, and she smells pine cones. That also, like, when you throw them, they're grenades, like, off of Bridge of Terabithia. And she likes anything that's shiny.
Shiny.
And she is, like, overly bubbly. She is overly ADHD bubbly. And then you got my tiefling barbarian, because there are just some days where I just smash everything. Like, Hulk, smash, done with shit. Ugh. And then there's like the librarian cleric elf, high elf, because I feel like I'm above everyone. Like, my shit don't stank, bruh. I don't know what the hell are you talking about. I'm above all of you. And then you got the worst bard ever, where I think I'm funny as shit and I think I'm top shit, but like in reality I trip over air. I can hit my head on something that's not even there.
That takes talent.
Those are my skills.
Cool,
It does,
you're hired.
especially when you can bruise yourself.
You're hired. Welcome to McDonald's.
Why she got workman's comp? She decided to fry her whole hand. Why? She saw something shiny in the bottom and forgot it was on.
Turns out it was just a piece of ice that hadn't melted yet.
Bro, could you imagine once that piece of ice had actually like heated up and like pwah, grease fire?
I've thankfully never seen a grease fire. I'd probably freak the fuck out because I don't know what to do.
Baking soda. Either baking soda or flour. Because the more water you add onto it, the bigger the flames get.
Yep.
So you want either fire extinguisher, baking soda, or a bag of flour. That's why I always keep 2 bags of flour next to my stove, is in case I start a grease fire. I have made it... Okay. I've made it this far in my life that I have not started a grease fire. But the fact that I started a fire with forgetting to put water in ramen and microwaving it for 5 minutes is totally besides the point. I was so good at that literally the fire alarm was cheering me on. All 7 of them in the house.
I bet it. I bet it smelled like ramen for a week.
No, it did not. It did not.
It just smelled like burning.
And this literally, I did this 3 times.
You did it 3 times.
I haven't done it. Yeah, I did it 3 times.
Remember what I said about you having a talent? You're reinforcing that idea.
The talent of being stupid.
I wouldn't say a talent for being stupid. I'd say it's more so a talent for causing accidents. You're just accident prone.
I really am, though. I'm surprised I haven't accidentally hurt myself at all today yet. We still got like 3 more hours before I go to bed.
Still got time. There's always time. Never out of time.
Shut the hell up, bro. Have you figured out your answer to the question?
Nope. I don't even know what race I am. I've been sitting here scrolling through races and I'm just like...
I feel like you're a dark elf because you hate other people so much.
That was my idea. My thought was dark elf or drow.
Yeah,
Just
you definitely give druid and dark elf feels.
druid.
Not druid, drow, sorry.
Be like, I don't know
I was
about
thinking about a druid, okay?
a druid.
I'm a drow, not a druid, duh!
I'm a druid drow.
Druid drow. The Adventures of the Druid Drow. What happens next? Thunder, Thundercats!
Gentlemen, she's really easy to entertain. Too bad she's not single.
I really am so easily entertained. Okay, legit, do not put Thundercats or He-Man on because I will legit reenact the entire series in the front room and hurt myself somehow in the process and then laugh for like 40 minutes about it.
The natural
I'm like a cat.
way of things.
Bro, I am like a cat. I'm like my crackhead cat. Freaking, ooh, shiny. Hey, guys. Oh, up there. Oh, yeah. You're like,
Ooh, pencil. It's mine now.
ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
Ooh, piece of candy.
But then, like, I have moments like that little dog thing off of Black Cauldron where he's like, the munchies and crunchies. Like, that is me when I'm hungry. Where's the munchies and crunchies? I smell it.
Randa's just
I should do
Gurgi.
that one day. Just be like, where's the munchies? I'm a groggy. 100% a groggy. Um,
I Okay, now we gotta figure out my class. Definitely some sort of dark
Your
elf.
class.
What is my class?
Probably rogue. Like a rogue librarian.
A rogue librarian.
Yeah, because you hate people, but you are a fucking nerd.
I steal books just to put them back where they actually belong. Because no one knows how to put fucking books back in this place. I'm the only one that knows that this goes in the science fiction section, and this one goes into the religious section. Someone just put this in the fiction section.
Oh my god. What's fucked up is I actually used to work at the library during my electives. And I would literally have the same arguments with myself.
No one knows how to put any of these books back. This one's .005. It should be over here next to .006. Why is it .125?
These are the sacred scrolls. Why are they out where everybody can see them?
Just leaves the Dead Sea Scrolls just out.
Or the forbidden scrolls.
The Forbidden Scrolls, how to make the strongest potion.
I don't think that joke's ever gonna die with us, bro.
If it does, it probably means we're not friends anymore.
Bro, you stuck with me.
That's what I'm
Sorry.
saying. It's
Sorry
it's
for
not
your
go.
loss.
It's yeah. It's my loss. Are you sure it's not your loss? Because you got to deal with me now.
Oh no, I'm the wilder one out of us two.
This is very true. I think today has shown that.
Like, you are the one to thoroughly think something out, math it out, make sure it is completely accurate, and then may or may not execute it. Me, I'm gonna be like, that's shiny. Bye. Bye, Felicia.
I mean, that's how these happened.
How what happened?
That's the left one.
I can't see because it's too tiny. Oh yeah, you need to get the thigh highs done.
I haven't even started on those yet. And before we move on, that's what she said.
Alright,
Holding.
hold up, wait a minute.
Hold up.
Alright. So, now is the blueberry spooky quarter.
The spooky.
If you guys are retarded, easily scared, this is your fair warning to now leave the chat.
Because
Listening with discretion.
shit might go a little wild. The last time she blacked out and murdered somebody.
Yeah. No, I did not. No. Not yet. Anyway.
How would you know? You blacked out.
Because there's video proof.
Who's to say I didn't alter the video?
Bruh. Stop making me second guess my life decisions, okay? You know, my mom. Gosh.
The fact that my initial response was going to be, I could be.
I mean,
Got the hair for it. It's just that mine's darker than yours.
bro, get out of my head. I was just about to say something, but I was like, ooh, I don't know if that's too far. Anyways, so first thing with the creepy quarter is I had the most creepiest experiment I think I've ever had in my entire life. So I called Nico here a few weeks ago because my neighbor died. And, I was just kind of giving him a rundown and asking if, I should make cookies or something. And, uh, and we were talking about how me and, my stepdaughter and my boyfriend, we were all kind of nosing outside, and I thought it was funny. And, well, when it first happened, we thought it was the wife. Well, then here just a few days ago, I was outside and I was getting ready to get in my car to go to some of my appointments, and well, so then I was like, oh, so it was the wife that died, and um, like I said, it was him. I've seen him a few times before he died. Periodically walking his dog. Doing little stuff. Um, and I was talking to my neighbor from down the street because he came and knocked on the door and was like, "Hey, just blah blah blah. Checking in on everything." And well, we were sitting there, we were talking. And I was like, "So how's he holding up with the fact that his wife died?" And he's like, "My wife didn't die." Or his wife didn't die. It was him. I went, what? Mind you, there's like a 2-week span from when the morgue was there to where I saw him after the fact of the hearse being there to pick it up. Pick him up. Pick it up. Oh my god. Heartless. To pick him up. And then come to find out, as I'm talking to him about this, he's like, yeah, the day I saw him was the day of his funeral and there was nobody at the house. And I was like, but he went out the door, opened the trash can lid, walked inside, and I've never seen this dude again. And mind you, I've seen other people over there at the house, but I've not seen him. And I'm low key, like, kind of being that neighbor, with the blinds where you got the one folded just so you can, like, and nobody know when you're, like, peeping. Because this shit got me freaking the fuck out. Like, this dude was solid. Like me, you solid. Okay? Looks exactly like my fucking neighbor to a T. And he's dead. But yet, he's right there. I feel crazy. I feel legitimately crazy.
I mean, it is kind of crazy. Like, you see him a while after he dies just to find out, oh, it was him that died.
Yeah. I straight up genuinely thought it was the wife, and come to find out, he's not even married. He has a girlfriend. And I'm like, what the heck? is going on here, bro?
Either there's some spooky
And then
shit.
I was like casually talking to. I was casually talking to the neighbor, and apparently stuff like that's normal in this town.
Oh, so it's just like that happens. You're not
Yeah,
you're not alone.
apparently not.
Now you just gotta start asking around
Which
town.
I mean explains why it's asking around town what.
See if other people get the other stories. See if other people have run into dead people.
Apparently it's super common around here.
Y'all are
The
just
only
like the
people that don't believe it are the people that like refuse to look at stuff like that.
right.
But which all of this leads into how I got into the paranormal. So growing up, my mom was a white Wiccan, and typically when you deal with pagan and Wiccan spiritual type religions, paranormal tends to follow, regardless of the spectrum you're on, whether it's black or white. Um, and whenever I was like 2 years old, I kept telling my mom that I was playing with my friend Boo. And mom thought, oh, she's 2 years old. This is just her imaginary friend. Well, my grandfather was stationed in Germany. And what my mom suspects is this little boy from Germany had attached himself to grandpa. And when grandpa got back over here to the States and the little boy saw me, he then attached himself to me. And there was one night, and I vaguely remember this. I was singing perfect German at 2 years old, and it was a lullaby, and it was a lullaby that you would only sing to soothe the kids during the bombings. And basically, my grandfather heard me singing it, and he goes, Amanda, why did you teach her that? And mom goes, Dad, I don't even know German. How can I teach my daughter this? She's 2. She
Right.
barely wipes her own ass. um, and it freaked him out. And then, over time, periodically, I'd roll a ball and it'd roll back at me. And I'd always tell mom that I was playing with Boo. Well, after I'd go to bed, mom would try to roll the ball in the same spot just to see if it was like a hill, type deal. And
Right.
she gently pushed it just like I did and never rolled back. And little stuff like that just followed me up until I was about 9 years old. And we moved into this house. I'll never forget it. We were living in Springfield, Illinois. In this house, it was in the ghetto, and it was an older house. I believe it was built in like the 1800s, and like a lot of weird stuff would happen there. Like cups would come flying out of the cabinets, and at one time I was taking a shower and the razor flung at me.
Fuck.
And then another time where I was walking through the kitchen and the gentleman's jack flew off the fridge about 6 feet from the fridge. And then the part that really, really set in motion the fact that I believe in the paranormal was, so my mom is a heavier set woman. She's 5. She was 4'11" and about 300 pounds. So she's a big woman, and this house is huge, right? And my brother and sister were at my grandparents, and the animals were all put up. And we were just doing the deep cleanings we do without my siblings because my siblings are a few years younger than me, and it's just easier for me and mom to hammer it out by ourselves real quick. And we were cleaning upstairs, and I put all the clothes in the sheet, and I tie up the sheet. It is completely tied up, so there's nothing that can trip me. And these are old wooden floors. Like, as you step on them, you can just hear like sudden death creeping up on you.
Right.
um, and I have the bag of clothes, and I'm walking, and I take about 2 steps down, and my mom is on the way other side of the room, up against the window and stuff, cleaning on the dresser. And I would have heard my mom, especially in this old of a house. And all of a sudden, I feel a shove in between my shoulder blades, and I go flying down the stairs. And at first, I'm falling like this instead of like head to toe, head to toe, head to toe. And right before I got to the last couple of steps, I went head, toe, head, and then I scorpioned. Well, the way I landed, my mom came running. The way I landed, my mom thought I was dead. Because I should have broken my back, my neck, something. And the bag of clothes were somehow still at the very top of the steps in the hallway section, not even on the steps. And I had no scrape on me. Nothing. I was a little sore, but I had nothing on me except for behind my shoulder blades there was um, a finger, a handprint about an inch to inch and a half longer than my fingers now on the dead center of my back. And my dad wasn't even in the house. So you can't like chop it up to being dad because dad's not even in the house. And my mom's 4'11", so her hands are like here.
Right. Got them small hands.
Um, little teeny tiny hands. Um, and that's when it really started to set in that paranormal is very much real. And even after we left that house, I had nightmares for a very long time of stuff that like I never particularly did or seen. And well, come to find out a few years after we left, there were what happened was there was an autistic girl, and her parents would abuse her and leave her in a diaper for days on end and lock her upstairs and physically abuse her. And I think she was like 15, 16, and she was autistic. And the dad would also abuse the mom. So the mom and the dad are abusing the little girl, and then the dad's also abusing the wife. Well, the dad ended up killing both of them and then burying them up underneath the house, and they never found the dad.
That's wild.
And
Like,
so, with that being said, no wonder why there's so negative of energy in the house.
yeah. It's very pent up, aggressive, pissed off spirits there.
Yeah. And just after living in that house, I became obsessed with it. Um, to where that's pretty much all I do now.
Like,
Nika will be like doing something. I'll be like, bro, I need a call like right now. Why? I found a ghost story. I gotta tell you.
I gotta tell ya. You needs to know.
And you'll like it because it's part of the war. It's
Yes.
part of a war. You'll love it. I promise.
It's part of a war you took a great interest in when you were a kid. You'll love it.
Yes. So, with that being said, that's kind of how I got into it. And before anyone states, it, you know, paranormal isn't real or this or that. I personally am completely against the people that are like, "Oh, the wind moved. That was a ghost." Or, "Oh, there was a power surge. That was a ghost." No, bro, that was a power surge and that was the wind. I assure you. I am one of those type of people where I like to disprove 100% everything that I can before I claim that, oh, that was a ghost, or that was creepy. Um, and of course, there's obvious things that you cannot dismiss. You cannot
Right.
dismiss, like my neighbor. That's like very undismissible. I mean, it was a solid human being that looked exactly like my neighbor, and how do I even go about disproving it
Right.
without being creepy?
Well, I wanted to say earlier.
But if a picture falls or something, do what?
I was gonna say earlier. Maybe there's an identical twin that you don't know about.
Hey, could be. Would not be shocked. I would be so happy if that was the answer.
Instead of it being you saw a dead guy. Like the
Yes! I don't
you
want
like
to
the
see a
kid
dead
from
guy like that just so fucking casually.
just from The
It's
Sixth
like
Sense.
broad
I see
daylight
dead
and
people.
there's
I see dead people. They don't know they're dead.
I should teach my daughter to do that. I should teach my daughter that, to just look at people and go, I see dead people.
Next time you and your stepdaughter are alone away from Randy, you need to be like, so we're gonna fuck with your dad a little bit. You just need to start pretending that you see dead people. You're gonna convince him to be on my side. I'm sorry, you're gonna be on my side in this war.
The thing of it is my stepdaughter, she absolutely loves my stepdaughter and my actual daughter. Both they both absolutely love creepy stuff, and I absolutely love the fact that they do, because it's like just one more thing that we can bond on.
Right?
Um, like my daughter, she's 6 years. So my stepdaughter is 14, about to be 15, and my biological daughter is 6 years old. And my 6-year-old will look at me and be like, "Mama, I want to watch a real scary movie." Meaning she doesn't want to watch a Goosebumps. She wants to watch like Michael Myers or Freddy Krueger. And the fact that she can lip sync the entire Halloween movie
Ooh.
makes me so proud as a mother.
I guess
Um,
that's what you
and
differ
she,
from my mother. She's just like, we're gonna watch Sleepy Hollow, and you're gonna be traumatized by it.
see, with my daughter, she don't care. Like, she watches Donnie Darko, Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, Jason. She watches Chucky. That's one of her favorites, is that new Chucky, and I hated that movie because whenever I watched it, my daughter at the time had her hair cut like Chucky, because she decided to cut her own hair, and her hair was cut like Chucky. And the night after we watched it, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning when she woke up. Okay, so the sun's not even up yet, and she is standing this close to my face because I always slept on the outer edge at the time. So I had easy access to the kids because Tyler didn't like waking up to the kids, my ex-husband. And she's like this close to my face, and it scared the ever-living Jesus out of me. I was like, this movie is now banned from my fucking house. I like scary stuff, don't get me wrong, okay? I mean, heck, last night I was telling you about how I was watching scary movies, I wasn't watching it, I was listening to scary stories on YouTube. And the thing of it is it's a 40-minute drive from town to my house. And the thing of it is the whole time, if you know anything about Illinois, it is just cornfields, bro.
Yes.
Cornfields and woods.
Pra-
In this 40-minute drive, I am nothing but back roads to get to my house.
it is prime
And
for the moider.
the thing of it is this area is so rich in history. Like, the whole state of Illinois is rich in history. And I'm listening to this, and I spook myself, and I continue to listen to it
Yep.
the
That's how it
whole
is.
ride home. So if something scares me to the point that I'm just like, nah, nah, nah,
Well,
yeah, you stupid.
well, was it the fact that it scared you a lot, or is it the fact that one of these days I'm gonna accidentally punch my daughter because she's gonna be walking past looking like Chucky, and I will not be responsible for my reaction. This kid ran around the house at 4 a.m. What am I supposed to do? Not. She ran full speed at me.
I am a horrible mom for laughing at that, but man, that I have to say beats the time that I scared myself on freaking the movie It. That has to be the worst time. So there's only been three times in my entire life a movie has actually scared me. And I obsessively watch scary movies. I obsessively watch scary documentaries and histories and just stuff that normal people don't watch. Literally, the ID Network, the History Channel, and Travel Channel are like my three best friends. And normal people don't watch this shit. I found out I cannot have normal people conversations. And the first time I ever scared myself on a movie was the movie It. My mom and my dad growing up, they were poly. And so they had a girlfriend living with us for a little bit. And she was obsessed with porcelain clown dolls. And I was 9. And I was watching a scary, and because I had straight A's and stuff, my parents would allow me to stay up a little bit later and do whatever I wanted as long as my grades were up and I got up for the school bus regardless. They didn't care what I did. So I was watching the movie It. Everybody was asleep, the whole house. And mind you, we are living in that spooky ass house too, that I was just talking about. Okay, we had just moved into it. And I'm watching the movie It. And when I say this lady was obsessed with porcelain clown dolls, I mean there was porcelain clown dolls on everything. And she still had 6 gigantic moving boxes full in their closet because she had nowhere else to put any more.
The fact that I just actually got chills thinking about that. Like, what the fuck?
Okay. And I'm watching the movie It, and I get about halfway through it, and I'm like, nah, bro, I can't do this. I'm too much of a pansy. and I shut it off. I go to bed. I wake up, and apparently they were spying on me. They were spying on me, and they moved like 12 of the porcelain clown dolls to where they were sitting right in front of me when I woke up. And I was like, oh, hell no! After that, I refused to watch the movie It. And I mean, my parents tried so many times whenever I became a teenager to force me and sit and watch the movie It because my fear of clowns, because of that incident, was so bad that we were at a circus. We were at a circus and there were these rodeo clowns right there at the exit. I was fine the whole time because they're down there. I'm way the fuck up here, you know, bro. Y'all a little bit chubby. Y'all ain't catching me. I'm fast as fuck, boy. Okay,
I'm fast as fuck,
I'm
boy.
fast as fuck. I'm good. Well, come to find out, I am fast as fuck, and I can run an entire parking lot with my eyes closed, screaming like a little bitch because these rodeo clowns went to touch me to give me a high five. And I went running. I had my eyes closed, I had my hands over my eyes, and I was gone. I was gone. I didn't know where I was going, but I was not going to be there. And then the second time I scared myself with a fucking movie, I was at the time a major stoner. A major freaking stoner. We had just moved into the trailer house, and the trailer house was right across from a cemetery too.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Literally 6 feet from my 6 feet from my driveway. It was a road's worth from my driveway. Okay. And there's this one gravestone. I'll never forget it. There's this one gravestone and it says laughter. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing else. Just says laughter. And, well, so we're in the back bedroom. It's middle of winter. It's fucking cold. So all the animals are in the room with us. And I'm laying there. I'm getting high while watching The Conjuring 2. Okay. Well, my old man, Tyler at the time, my ex-husband, he's like, I'm done. I'm checking out. And he turns over and goes to bed. Well, I am engrossed into this movie. And I'm like, okay, bro, I'm starting to get spooked. I'm going to go to bed too. So I have it still playing because I don't want to get up. So I just roll over. Well, then I start hearing something in the front of the house. And the entire house is locked up. All the animals are in the bedroom with us. Well, maybe it's just the house settling, even though it sounds like footsteps. So I turn back over and I start watching The Conjuring 2. Again. I start getting spooked again. So I roll back over. And then I keep hearing footsteps. And the dogs are now going off. So I roll back over. I hush them up. And I go back to watching the show. And I start getting scared of the show again. I end up to the point that I am in fucking tears. And I wake up my ex-husband. I wake him up. I'm like, there is somebody in the front room. I promise you there is somebody in the front room because I hear footsteps. And this is not okay, bro. Well, we were just moving, so there was like stacks of papers on the table. And I'm going to see if I can turn my camera down so you can see my table. Okay. So there's like stacks of paper. This is all stacks of paper right here, right? This is all stacks of paper. And in the center of it is a coffee cup full of coffee. Okay? Nothing here is disturbed, and this is halfway across my dining room. But all the doors are locked. None of the windows are broken into. All the windows are locked. There's nothing else. I looked at my husband and I went, I'm putting on Blue's Clues and I'm going to bed. I am checking the hell out of Spooky Town. I'm done. I am done.
Someone just
Then-
wanted a cup of Joe.
Get this. The cup was still full of coffee and none of it dripped.
Imagine just breaking into someone's house, make a good cup of coffee, leaving it on the table, and just leaving.
Bro, I would do that.
Just to fuck with somebody.
And then the third time was that Chucky show with my daughter. Only 3 times. But I'm sorry, but anybody sitting in my shoes with those 3 incidences would be sketched the fuck out too.
Yeah. You want to make your fear of clowns come back even worse?
No.
I think you do.
Because I will still scream. Dude,
you-
I'm
you-
not
you
even
sh-
joking.
You should watch the Hell House trilogy. Nope, not the trilogy. Just watch the first 2.
I just recently went to a birthday party with clowns at it. There was a clown performing, and I looked at Randy and I told him, I was like, baby, I love you, but I will patiently wait in the car. He's like, well, it's just so and so. Nope, I'm good.
It doesn't matter who it is. It's
I'm
still a
good.
clown.
You not the movie It, Killer Clowns. Also, Glacy. No, bro.
No
I'm
thanks.
Gucci.
I'm good. We can not do this.
Like, there's only one clown I like, and that is the Joker. And that is just because, oh shoot, what was his name? He was an actor and he died.
Oh, Heath Ledger.
Yeah, Heath Ledger. Mostly because I have a crush on him. And I'm sorry, but his why so serious kind of like hit the vibe of how I felt at the time.
Why so serious? My father was a drunk. And one night, he goes off.
The fact you...
What?
The fact that you do that voice so fucking well. Are you okay? Do you need a friend?
Isn't that why I'm talking to you?
I mean, facts.
No, well, yes and no. I don't know how to honestly answer that question, but no, it was his Joker and, who was it? Jack Nicholson's. Those were the 2 Jokers I grew up with.
Yes.
Because I didn't watch the animated shows, so I did not
Yes.
grow up with Mark Hamill. Too
I grew up with
significantly
Mark
way
Hamill,
too
but I
young
didn't
for
like
the
it.
Romero Joker. What?
I grew up with the Mark Hamill, but I didn't like it. If that made sense, it didn't hit that note for me.
Mm,
Excuse me.
too silly for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's still it's still a show about comic books, so like, and it's the Joker. He wasn't always a serious villain. When they first introduced the Joker, his main thing was, I'm going I'm gonna do something stupidly silly. I'm going to make jokes.
Yeah.
I'm a clown. But then it got dark. I don't know when the I'm not too engrossed into comics, so I'm not like I don't know the full history
I'm
of when
not
he
too
started to get
engrossed
dark.
into comics either.
Like,
Like, I love comics, but I never find the time to read them.
right? And I wasn't given a lot of comics as a kid. Like, I had a couple of books. It was like there was one that was Iron Man, because for the longest time my favorite superhero was Iron Man. I had a couple Spider-Man comics because Spider-Man was my favorite superhero for the longest time. And then my brothers and I had a couple Batman comic books.
I had Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's what I had. I had Buffy the Vampire Slayer comics.
I
And
didn't know they
then I
made comics for it.
had a few of the Flash comics. Uh huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a few of them. They were actually better than the show.
Really?
Hmm.
Guess I'll have to look into Buffy the Vampire Slayer comics.
They also have a tabletop game for Buffy the Vampire Slayer and also Firefly. Honestly, I feel like not Will Wheaton. Oh, give me a sec.
Do 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 do. Gotta kill that dead. Do 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 do.
Joss Whedon.
Joss Whedon.
Joss Josh Josh Joss Whedon. He does Dollhouse, Firefly, Angel, Buffy, a few of the Marvel shows. What all does he do?
This is a pretty notable
Because
name.
he's one of my favorite directors. What?
He's one of the more notable like directors, especially when it comes to like comics and shit like that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he did Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Firefly, Angels, Serenity, Avengers, 2012, Avengers Age of Ultron, 2015, The Nevers, Justice League, The Cabin in the Woods. The Cabin in the Woods was really fucking good.
Yeah. That was a very good movie.
Honestly, I did not expect to like that movie as much as I did.
If you like that, I told you about Tucker and Dale versus Evil, didn't I?
You told me to watch it, but I never did.
If you like Cabin in the Woods, you might like it.
I didn't realize he directed. I didn't realize he directed the Titan AE movie.
I didn't know that either.
That was a great fucking movie for the 2000s. I remember when that came out and I was obsessed with it. Did you know he did Toy Story 2?
That's a shocking
Like
one.
the first Toy Story?
I didn't know.
Yeah, apparently he was in that too. He had his hands in that too. And then Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I can believe that.
But yeah, no. He's one of my favorite directors.
Speaking of favorites, I think we're good to move on from the spooky corner a little bit and move on to the facts section, but this time around, we're still doing introductions, and we didn't really talk about our favorite music genres. So, what are your favorite music genres?
Mm, lately, what's that genre that I've been obsessed with lately? So typically it's like heavy, bare basic heavy metal, new metal. I love classical piano. I love violin. I love blues, country, you name it. If it's got a good vibe to it, I'm all about it. And lately, give me just a second.
Uno momento, por favor.
I've been obsessed with Amity Affliction and Highly Suspects, the Chainsmokers, Lower Than Atlantis, The King Blues, Arcane Roots, Half Alive, etc., etc. Um,
Those are some names.
I'm trying to figure out. Do what?
I said those are some names.
Right? Alternative. That's what it is. Is alternative rock. I've been pretty obsessed with it. Like Mumford Sons, Fish in a Birdcage, Dirty Poor Robins, Will Wood, Audio Heart, The Crane Wives, Hoyser, um, David Michael Bennett, Steam Powdered um, Giraffe.
She's
I
got
always
dyslexia,
mix
guys.
up that
Leave her
name.
alone.
Yeah, I
She,
do. It's bad. It's bad. Is it graffiti or giraffe?
giraffe.
Okay. I always want to say graffiti. I feel like that would be a better name for them.
I feel like if they stopped doing the comedy
Um,
thing, they could definitely change the name to like Steam Powered Graffiti and make it like a punk band. But they're just
the song that I've been obsessed with is Death Death. What is it? It goes Death Death Evil Evil Little Songs. What is that song? I've been obsessed with it lately.
I'm not sure.
The Neighborhood's another one that I've been obsessed with lately. Same with Arctic Monkeys and Dashboard Confessionals.
Yeah. Sounds like you've been really, really hard into the alternative stuff.
Oh, it's Aurelio Volteri, I think is how you pronounce it. Here, I'll put it in I'll put it in chat so you can pronounce it. Aurelio or Tire.
Aurelio Voltaire. Don't think I recognize that one.
I was trying to see the lyrics because there's a certain part that I have been absolutely loving. And the song's called Death Death. And it's written in like a Irish kind of pubby um dark style.
Hmm.
Yeah, so the chorus of it is this, and I sang death, death, devil, 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 evil, evil, evil songs. Hell, you know that's how I get along. The world is full of tragedy, so how can it be wrong singing death, 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 devil, 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 evil, evil songs? And it is fabulous. It is just fabulous. I'll be in there in the kitchen listening to it, and you just see me like bopping to the song while I'm cooking. And my old man, he's like, what in the hell are you listening to? I'm like, magic, bruh.
It's magic. It's making me dance.
It's to the point he tells me I don't want to listen to your weird music anymore. We can listen to anything, but don't play your weird music. Shaman, bro.
That is the wrong thing to say to me. We're gonna listen to anything, just not your weird music. You're gonna have to be a little more definitive when you say weird.
In other words, only play the music he likes. Which, I mean, he has decent music taste. He likes all the generic bands that everybody else likes, basically.
He's a normie.
Like, yeah,
Not to be
very
like,
much is. Although he is like, there is no offense here.
not to
But
be
there
like
is this one
judgmental.
Swedish band. You're fine. He judges others. You'll be fine.
Okay, as if he judges others, he should be fine being judged himself.
Yeah. Um. Basically, there's this one band though that he listens to, and I find it so satisfying that he loves it as much as he does. And it's a Swedish band. And they start out singing, and in the music video, it's all normal. It's very beboppy, very like teen poppy type sounding. And then all of a sudden, you just hear, major ass fucking guitar hit, and then all of a sudden it's like deathcore fucking screaming, and they all turn into fucking zombies.
That's
It
wild.
is like a sudden, like, here's Barbie and now here's Otep. Satisfying. So satisfying.
Is it Otep?
I need to ask him the name of the song. Huh?
Is it Otep? The band.
No, it's not Otep, but it's
Oh.
no, it's a Swedish band. Otep, if I remember correctly, is from England.
Uh,
They're a European band. Um, Otep's one of my favorites. I love Otep.
I'll have to give him a listen.
Favorite line of theirs is they're actually American. They're an American heavy metal band. The band was formed in 2000 in Angeles, California, by frontwoman Otep Shemaya. The band is noted for their style of art house nu metal and their strong political stances.
Ah,
I remember being in middle school and just singing, "So they say I killed the man, so they said I took his head, so they say he was discouraged." That was like my favorite song, and I would sing it just to freak out the preps. And I mean, I would fucking get into it.
it's like my older
What's
brother.
some of your favorites?
Well, before I get into that, I was gonna say it's like my younger brother when he was little. Like Rage Against the Machine
Mm-hmm.
was the big thing, and him
I
not having any idea what the fuck the words mean, just walk around the house doing like this little like I don't know like swagger walk, and he's like pocket full of shells, and that's all he would say. Wouldn't say anything else. Just walking through the house, all swagger like pocket full of shells. My mom's like, "Fuck is this little Indian gangster doing in here?" Walking through my house saying pocket full of shells. You don't even know what that means.
Pocket full of shells.
But yeah,
I'm gonna have that line stuck in my head the rest of the night.
you're just gonna be there sitting by yourself. Pocket full of shells.
Straight up.
But yeah, so my favorite genres to start, like for the most part, is anything rock or metal for the most part. Like a lot of pop rock, not a big fan of. Depending upon how it is, I can get into it. Don't ask me to like Ghost's new stuff. Not into that. Not into that. Not into that pop rock. Uh, grew up listening.
You got so agitated when I brought that up.
Yeah, and I have a very strong
Legit.
stance about that.
Like, we were discussing about how Ghost had finally hit the billboards and of top 100, and he got so aggressive. I've never seen this man aggressive, but he got so aggressive about the new music from Ghost.
Yeah,
Like, I wish we would have been recording at the time.
I think the second time we talked about it, like when we talked about it during our previous recording, it was I got into it a little bit. Probably not as hard as I initially did the first when you first brought it up, but
No, no.
it was Obsidian
That was
spaghetti.
intense, bro.
Don't
Bro,
talk
I think even spaghetti was like even telling you chill.
the spaghetti is upset. Uh,
But anyways, continue before I so rudely interrupted you.
yeah, but for the most part, like I said, I grew up like listening to like hair metal, and then stuff like Metallica. The big, for the longest time when I was a kid, I would just only listen to Kiss. Like Kiss was it. If it wasn't Kiss, didn't fucking care. Then I started to grow up a little
I
bit.
never took you for a Kiss person.
Yeah, I just huge into the Kiss for the longest time. And then I got to middle school and I started listening to things other than Kiss, but it was still stuff that my dad was listening to, you know? It was mostly just
Yeah.
hair metal stuff like Tesla, Motley Crue, and Twisted Sister, and then Metallica, Megadeth, shit like that. And then, like, even despite that, my dad is a maggot. He's a big Slipknot fan. I like Slipknot. Not too big into not too big into their new stuff, but old Slipknot, very good, very good. So, yeah,
I like Corey Taylor's stuff alone, but I don't like I don't like Slipknot stuff lately.
no, like a lot of people will tell you that e- Iowa was their last good album. Some people will tell you that All Hope Is Gone was their last good album. Uh, some people, a very small few, will say the Grey album was okay. I think it was okay. We Are Not Your Kind, that was a decent album. Didn't really give it a full listen. And then I have not listened to a new song, and then none of the new stuff after We Are Not Your Kind and all that.
That
So,
was the one that went downhill too. Is so Atreyu split up there for several years, and Atreyu's one of the bands that got me into like Bullet for My Valentine and um
they got
Boba Flex and stuff like that.
got you into that early metalcore.
Yeah, and I was heavily into Atreyu. Well, I was so excited that they got back together, but I gave their new music a listen, and
That new album, and it ain't it, bro.
yeah.
It's not inspired at all. Not like they got some really good songs. That album that came out this year is no, not it, bro.
It's trash.
Glad you
It's
guys are back
trash.
together. Glad you
Honestly,
guys still like music, but it may be time to be one of those legacy bands that only plays the old stuff.
yeah. Like it broke my heart to listen to be honest. Honestly, it was like in my personal opinion, they're like that band that should just stay where they ended it.
Right.
Either that or like bring back their style, you know?
Yeah.
Cuz it just feels like that new album that came out doesn't even feel like them. It feels like the record deal is what it feels like.
Yeah. Very corporate sort of album that they released.
Very much so. But Atreyu was fuck, dude. The things I would have done to him back when they first started. Ugh! Okay, my soul had to die for a second.
They kick ass live. They still kick ass live.
I still would love to go and see them live, to be honest. Not so much for their new stuff, but for their older stuff. I would I would absolutely die to go and see their stuff.
Yeah. They kick ass live. When I went and saw them, because they were the opening band for the Trinity of Terror tour, they put on one hell of a show, and at one point the vocalist jumped out into the crowd, and is the venue that I saw them in is used to be a hangar for airplanes.
Mm-hmm.
So it was this
Mm-hmm.
basically just this long tube basically. And he
Yeah.
walked basically halfway through this tube, while still singing and performing the song, to go up to one of the bars to get a shot.
Okay, that's pretty fucking metal.
And I'm pretty sure at one point someone handed
That
him their beer. It was like, oh my god, it's the dude.
That's pretty fucking metal.
Here's my beer. That was pretty cool.
I remember being like 11 years old, and I had gotten their oh shoot, what was that album? They've gotten ugly. Sorry.
I think the term you're looking for is they became parents and got old.
No. They just got ugly. They look nothing like they used to. Lead sales and lead sales Paper Anchor. That was their album that got me into them. And I remember I sat there every day in Hot Topic. That Dad went to Hot Topic. I did not look at anything in Hot Topic because I wanted to spend the whole time listening to the CD in Hot Topic on the earpiece. Well, Dad watched me do this for like 3-4 months because there for a while Hot Topic was like our main store. And AKA back when Hot Topic still had the trip pants, you know, good Hot Topic. For those that don't know, Hot Topic was not the way it was
Back when
now.
Back when the Hot Topic was being emo. Like,
Hot Topic was Hot Topic. Okay, it was the creepy fucking store that the preps didn't want to go into, and now Hot Topic's mainstream. Excuse me.
it's just for seeing kids these days.
But no. It really is. And their material is not worth the price you pay anymore. They brought the trip pants back, but the trip pants they have now are so thin, my leggings are thicker than they are. It's disgusting. And not in a good way.
I don't believe it.
But
I
Dad
would
saw
believe
me doing this. Do what?
I said I would believe it.
Dad saw me doing this for like, 2-3 months while it was my birthday. And so Dad got the album for me, and it was the special one. So it came with like a poster and everything, and I hung that poster up in my fucking bedroom, and I would sit there and pretend to make out with the singer.
Of course.
And now I look back and I'm like, I was such a basic fucking punk kid back then. Punk girl. Hey, at least I wasn't like Justin Bieber or fucking Oliver off of Miley Cyrus like most girls my age was doing.
Yeah, because that was the prime time for that.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie though, I had a crush on Lily off of Hannah Montana. Not gonna lie.
I'm sure a bunch of people did. You're probably not alone.
Oh, probably not. But what got you into music as heavily as you got into it?
That's pretty easy. I got dad issues. Nah,
You
well,
got daddy issues.
I seek appraisal from my father. Yes, one could say that's probably why I was so dead set on just like only liking the music that he did. Like I'd listen to what my mom would listen to. Like she'd listen to like shit like Snoop Dogg and a bunch of rappers, and I'd be like, yeah, I could vibe with this. But I was
I did not take you for vibing with Snoop Dogg.
it's it's Snoop Doggy Dogg. You gotta.
Don't ever say that again.
Why?
That was so not a. That was so nerdy, boy.
Hi, well, hi, I'm Dylan. Have we met
Oh
before?
my goodness.
Yeah, like just, my dad got me into music. I got in, and then once I started branching off and listening to my own music, I was just like, okay, what is it that I like about music? Well, I like it when people pay attention and actually work with the finer details of music, which is why I say
Yeah.
when it comes to my favorite musician ever, I gonna sound like I'm just absolutely sucking on his hog, but Austin, my buddy Austin Dickey, he's a phenomenal lyricist because he likes to put these little details into it, likes to have these double meanings and all that. Little a little bit of word play, a little bit more meaning behind the words that he uses. Like he doesn't say things just because it sounds good. No, he says it because there's a context behind it. It furthers along the message of the song, or it sounds smart, I guess. So anytime I can tell someone is very much paying attention or putting a lot of detail into their lyrics, like if I'm not hearing the same beats like over and over and over again, I
Yeah.
I can get into it a lot more.
Yeah, I tend to be the same way on that aspect. Is like, I like to hear different. Like, show me your skills. Show me what your soul tells me. And if it's just the same shit over and over and over, then you're not really being real. You're just being safe.
Mm-hmm. Like if once, like if someone finds their niche, that's okay. Like I can still vibe with some bands that will do the same thing quite a bit, but at the same time, if it's just that, I'm like, why even make new music? You're not saying anything different. You're saying the same things. You're just doing the same thing over and over, my guy. I think it's time to hang it up and stop making new stuff until you get a little bit more inspiration. So I'll stick to the
I
bands that are a little
totally
bit more
agree.
transformative.
I fully agree.
You know, which is ironic when I say like some of the bands that I was into with as a kid, like once they found their sound, they stuck to it hard and they did not change. And then when they tried to step out, they didn't do it too well. Like
Yeah.
like when Metallica found their sound, then they tried to step back out of that sound. It didn't work out too well. Kiss did the same thing.
That was so horrible.
What, Metallica stepping out of their sound?
Yeah.
Which time?
Yes. Oh my god, that was every time.
Like when they tried.
Like, bro, it was more of a train wreck than my fucking life. Okay. And that's bad.
Yeah. I guess that does speak to just how. Just the, what's the word I'm looking for? The. Why am I blanking? I am
You caught
blanking
my
so.
bug.
I am blanking so hard on the word. But, like, it just speaks to, I guess, how strong the fan base for Metallica is, because think about how many bands and musicians doing something like that basically ended their careers. And then Metallica does, and it's just
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
we'll bounce back 2 years later. We'll make an album that some people will say is just as controversial, but at the same time, people actually like it.
Oh, absolutely. One I feel that doesn't get enough recognition though from the Metallica era is probably like I feel like their music was a little bit better than Metallica. Just my personal opinion.
Who was it? Your video skipped, so I didn't hear what you said.
Megadeth.
Yeah, I I think they're properly rated. They're they're skilled musicians and whatnot, but they're not like they're more niche than Metallica is. Where Metallica's for a broad audience, Megadeth is the well for most people they would be surface level, but you gotta dig a little deeper into the iceberg to start listening to Megadeth.
Yeah. I suppose you're right.
I'm just tired of hearing about Dave Mustaine complain about getting kicked out of Metallica all the time, or people talking about it.
Facts. Facts.
Oh well, old beefs die hard.
Forever will.
And then anytime you think they bury the hatchet,
That's
here's someone coming to dig it
fucking
back up.
somebody's got to bitch about it.
Someone's got to remind Dave Mustaine.
Honestly, I feel like it's probably the best thing they could have done.
Like, you can say that it happened right before Metallica got big, and while they did use, like, let's be real, Kill 'Em All, they did use Dave Mustaine's the stuff that he had written for them. They used it. He wasn't happy about it, obviously.
Yeah.
But Metallica kept changing and they kept getting bigger. Was the thing, right? I think Dave Mustaine has just continued. He's still writing Kill 'Em All.
I can see that.
So
I can really see that.
So realistically it was because I don't know if they continued to get bigger with Dave Mustaine, because they would keep writing Dave Mustaine songs.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's had a pretty respectable career on his own with Megadeth.
Oh, absolutely. But I think that pretty much wraps it up, though.
Yeah. I don't. I'd say we do a shoot the shit section, but I think today pretty much was just us shooting the shit. In all honesty.
Yeah, it's basically all we did.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything to add in, except for next week we'll actually have some good solid stories to talk about in the paranormal section, and probably have more of a zeroed in topics for music and less about us, basically.
Yeah. Talk a little
Um,
less about us and actually just broaden the scope a little bit.
Absolutely. So if you guys like what we do, hit the follow button, hit the like button, and we will talk at y'all next week.
We shall return.
Dun dun dun.
This is when you do the thing.
Bee bop a blueberry. Ba ka ba ka. Bee bop a blueberry. Ba ka bee bop a blueberry. Bee bop a blueberry.